friends, my pleasant and humble wishes. Let us talk about June 18 current affairs of 2021. The fight will go on, say the released students. Upon their release from Tigar prison on June 17 evening, Jawaharlal Nehru University students said the fight was not over. The three were locked in jail under the section of Unlawful Activity Prevention Act and was released 2 days after the Delhi High Court granted them bail. They were fight against the injustice and against CAA NRC, that is Citizenship Amendment Act, National Register of Citizens, so that they were locked up under the section of Unlawful Activity Prevention Act. Vaccination is not mandatory for students to travel US, say the Ministry of External Affairs. The United States have said vaccination is not a mandatory requirement for Indian students to travel to the country. A senior official in the Ministry of External Affairs said on Thursday. To a question, official spokesperson Arindam Bakshi said a constructive solution should be found to help Indian students returning to attend academic sessions there. The US Embassy there had recently begun process visas for on-campus education. There is no uniformity in the requirements. The US government has clarified that vaccination is not a mandatory requirement for our students to travel. I also understand that there are multiple conversations going on between our students and the universities. The State Department spokesperson on Thursday said individuals who are not fully vaccinated will have to stay under self-quarantine for a week. The issues of lack of uniformity of US recruitment comes from the fact that many of the leading universities and the government are yet to reach a consensus on the matter.
India wants Pakistan to address shortcoming in new law for review of death sentence to Jadhav. India on Thursday asked Pakistan to take appropriate steps to address the shortcoming in a bill introduced in the country's National Assembly last week, providing for the right of appeal to Indian death row conflict Kulbhushan Jadhav. Spokesperson in the Ministry of External Affairs, Arindam Bakshi, said the bill has provisions for inviting the municipal court to decide whether any prejudice has been caused to Mr. Jadhav on account of failure to provide consular access in accordance with the verdict of International Court of Justice. He called upon Pakistan to take appropriate steps to address the shortcomings in the bill, Mr. Bakshi said at media briefing. The Hague-based International Court of Justice ruled in July 2019 that Pakistan must undertake an effective review and reconsideration of the conviction and sentence of Mr. Jadhav and also grant consular access to India without further delay. Center opens 14 Disability Early Intervention Centers. The Union Social Justice Empowerment Ministry on Thursday launches 14 cross-disability early intervention centers across the country to provide support to infants and young children at risk or with disabilities. The Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Tawarchand Gehlot virtually inaugurated the center that are located at 7 national institutes and 7 composite regional centers of Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability. Research studies suggest that the childhood of 0 to 6 years is a time of remarkable brain development. Early intervention can provide specialized support and service for infants and young children at risk or with disability or developmental delay, and for their families to help them in their overall development, well-being, and participation in family and community life. Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability said. Among the service provided at the centers are screening of children and referral to the appropriate rehabilitative care, speech therapy, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, parental counseling and training, and peer counseling. Birth death registrations went up in 2019. The level of registration of birth and death in the country improved in 2019 according to the Vital Statistics of India based on the Civil Registration System report. Some states and union territories, however, lagging behind. The report states that the level of birth registration increased from 87.8% in 2018 to 92.7% in 2019, and death registration went up from 84.6% to 92% during this period. While 14 states or union territory achieve 100% level of birth registration, 19 states and union territories achieved the same level in case of death. Level of registration was arrived at using sample registration system rates for 2018 as a survey for 2019, which was scheduled for 2020, could not be complete due to the COVID-19 pandemics. Besides, some states and union territories submitted incomplete or partial data, which was not included. Rules regulating cable TV network amended. The Information and the Broadcast Ministry on Thursday amended the rules regulating cable TV network, providing for a statutory mechanism for complaints raised by citizens regarding any content broadcast. At present, there are over 900 TV channels that are required to comply with the program and advertising code laid down by the Ministry of Information and Broadcast under the Cable TV Network Rules. The Cable Television Network Amendment Rules 2021 provide for a three-level grievance redressal mechanism: self-regulating by broadcasts, self-regulating by self-regulating bodies of the broadcasts, and oversight by interdepartmental committee at the level of union government. A viewer can file a complaint directly to the broadcaster, who will have to respond within 15 days. If the complaint is not satisfied with the response, the complaint can be escalated to self-regulating bodies set up by the TV channels, which should deal with the case in 60 days. After examining the complaint, the interdepartmental committee can recommend the center to advise, issue a warning, censure, admonish, or reprimand a broadcast, or seek an apology. It can also ask the broadcaster to include a warning card or a disclaimer, or to delete or modify content, or take the channel or program off air or for a specified time period, where it is satisfied that such action is warranted. Sri Lanka reports Delta variant amid a daunting third wave. Sri Lanka on Thursday detected the highly transmittable Delta variant of COVID-19 in 5 patients. The third wave persists through a near-month lockdown in the country, supporting an unusual outbreak in a Colombo neighborhood last week. The Allergy, the Immunity and Cell Biology Unit at the Sri Jayawardhanapura University conducted genetic sequence studying 30% sample and spotted the Delta variant. CM Stalin announces scheme for Kuruvai cultivation. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin on Thursday announces a scheme to benefit farmers in the Kaveri Delta region to facilitate Kuruvai cultivation. The package is being announced by the state government after a gap of 3 years. The scheme, to be implemented at the cost of 61 crore, is expected to benefit over 2.7 lakh farmers in the region. The scheme aims to provide input and equipment subsidies to farmers involved in the cultivation of Kuruvai in the Kaveri Delta region, according to an official release. It would be implemented in Tanjavur, Nagapattinam, Mayiladurai, Thiruvarur districts completely, and partially in Kadalur, Ariyalur and Trichy districts. Eventually, water from the Stanley Reservoir in Mettur was released on June 12, and water from Kallanai was released on June 16 for irrigation of farmlands in the Kaveri Delta region. Intending to make more of Kaveri water released from Mettur, the state government had already undertaken repairs and other works in the area irrigated by the rivers. High Court directs HR and CE department to take serious note of theft of temple jewellery and ancient idols. The Madras High Court on Thursday refused to accept a counter affidavit filed by the Hindu Religion Charitable Endowment Department during the previous All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kalagam regime, in a case related to theft of ancient idols and temple jewellery. It directed the department to reconsider its stance since there has been a change in government. Passing interim orders on a public interest litigation petition filed by Temple Activities R. Venkatraman, the first division bench of Chief Justice Sanjeev Banerjee and Justice Sendal Kumar Ramamurthy had on January 20 taken serious note of petition's complaint that temple jewellery and other ancient artifacts have been wrongfully removed or pilfered from temples situated at various places across the state. The court directed the HR and CE department to immediately coordinate with the Director General of Police for ascertaining the places from where the jewelers could be missing.
Hope this video is very useful. I would like to say that our academy WAR, Win and Rule, is coaching students in various exams like NEET, TNPSC, UPSCs, as well as we are tutoring students from class 6 to 12 in all subjects. One-to-one student coaching is also available at students' preferable timing. For further detail, refer the description.